All right, I think we're live. Welcome to Milgat Farms. There we go. Welcome to Milgat Farms. My name is Kevin. I'm with my beautiful wife, who will be sitting here in just a couple of minutes. We're the proud owners of Virginia's only USDA certified organic maple syrup farm, which is pretty cool. We're in the middle of nowhere, convenient to nothing. And today we're doing a live stream because we have been running around like chickens without a doubt and have not been able to get a video up for you for the day. Today, our normal channel, or our normal upload, if you will, is Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. And today, I wish we weren't able to do it. I'm really sorry about that. We've been working on an order that we put together. I think it was last week, a very large order. Come on in and sit down, Isabelle. A very large order for Food Lion. So today we got up this morning around 2:30, went to Richmond, dropped off the kids at 6 a.m. at the grandparents, and then I went down to North Carolina where I dropped off the order. It was great. Came back, visited with one of my friends, did a couple errands while I was in Richmond, and then we came back home. It was all in all a great day, that's for sure. Hey, thanks for giving us a thumbs up. Who's in the house? Fixed a rust bucket. It's good to see you, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Somebody just texted me. I don't think that's my wife. It could be though. Who knows? Let me see. Emily's down below, and she's going to be coming up here in just a few minutes. Isabelle's joining us, and she's got somebody she wants to talk about. Isabelle, who you got? Who you got right there?
I got Evelyn.
Who is this?
Evelyn.
You got to look right up here, Isabelle. Look in the camera. You got to say, who is that?
So this is Evelyn.
Who is Evelyn?
Evelyn's my little girl.
Is your little girl? All right. Well, but just keep her quiet because we're doing a live stream, okay? We don't want to hear it too loud. Hi, Gabriel. How are you doing? What's going on up in your world? We've got a lot going on the farm. You know, I always think like maple season is a crunch time for us, but it really turns out to be the first of spring because we're finishing up with maple, doing whatever orders we're getting those handled, getting all the equipment clean, getting the woods done, and then we're trying to put a garden in at the same time. And from about January till about 3 weeks ago, we were lambing. We just got our last lambs on the ground. Unfortunately, the mom passed. She had milk fever. It was very tragic. We didn't catch it fast enough, and she did succumb to it, which means we have 2 bottle babies. And that's what we're doing right now. We're feeding bottle babies all the time.
Yes, I love that. Mm-hmm.
Same old, same old. I hear that. Gabriel, we were coming home today, and the kids said I drive like a Jersey driver.
Because you were going like this on a turn, and then it was like there was a sharp turn coming up ahead. I'm can you slow down?
We were definitely late. Let me say that. Let me see if I can close this window a little bit. It's still sunny here. I think Emily may have posted a community comment that said, I left this morning at 2, or I got up at 2 a.m. and then now I'm just getting back.
Same here.
So it's been a long kind of day, that's for sure. Eric and Darcy, good to see you guys. Good to see you in the house. You just got home, Chris. What time do you go to work? What time do you go to work, Gabriel? I know Eric doesn't work. He just sits around all day and fishes.
You're gonna be busted. I'm telling you the truth.
So let me give you a couple more updates. Oh, that's cool. 9 to 17:30. I get it. That is not my day. What's up, Hidden Springs Homestead? Glad to see you. So you're going to notice that I'm going to look down over here because that's where the live screen chat is, and I can't move it. I don't know how all that works. So my camera's up here, chat's down here. So if I'm going to be looking both ways, that's why. On the farm this week, tomorrow is my last day on the farm this week because Gabriel and I are going to go up to Portland, Ohio for the International Firewood Expo. And it's being put on by a gentleman named Joe from Ohio Woodburner. If you haven't checked out his channel, he's got a really neat channel. What he does is delivers firewood. He sources his fire from other places. He makes his own firewood. And he really got into processors and different equipment, made a lot of friends across the industry, from Easton Made to folks over in Finland. He's been all over sharing things about the firewood industry. And he created an International Firewood Expo. Started, I think, last year. And this year, there are people from lots of different countries coming. So it ought to be interesting. It's not too far from us. If you're along the way between us here in central Western Virginia and Cortland, Ohio, hey, let me know. Maybe we can get together, have a cup of coffee, or grab a picture, and we just keep going north. And if you happen to be at the International Firewood Expo, I hope our paths will cross. If you see me, just stop me and say, hey, I've seen you on YouTube, and I'd love to get a picture with you. So Eric and Darcy, sometimes 5:30 until dark 30. Well, that's not too bad if it's like in December. But if it's like now, those are long days there, Eric.
I don't
So
want to stay up that long.
a box blade video. So tell us, Hidden Home Springs, what about a box blade did you do? I'm kind of curious. Courtney Herbo. Hey, Courtney, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Thanks for everybody that are in here, and thanks everybody for giving us a thumbs up. That means a lot to us.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
Gabriel's bringing something else. So in the house.
Hello.
Oops. Hold back up there, buddy. Back up just a little bit. Look, here, silly goose. Look up there. Okay, tell everybody what these are.
Baby chicks
So we
hatched
have-
out.
They are baby chicks. So we have 6 in the house currently, and we just sold, I think, 30 of them.
Mhm.
We've gotten a couple of orders, so if anybody local needs some chicks, let us know. We're going to be hatching out a whole bunch more.
No
We
more
can hatch
selling.
out about 30 to 60 per tray, and we've got 4 or 5 trays. However, we currently have geese eggs and some duck eggs, and they have not hatched yet. We're not talking about that.
Oh, we're
right
not
now.
talking about that yet.
You got to
That's
keep that
Mommy's.
down. That's our secret for later, okay?
We have 7 people.
So, Gabriel, we just got the lambs out of the house about 2 weeks ago, and then 30 chicks were hatched in the basement, which sounds kind of weird, just within the last 2 weeks. So it's been a little crazy inside the house. We've had lambs in the house off and on since about February. It's been kind of interesting. Most of the lambs currently are down in the pastures where we have the female sheep. We band the boys, dock the tails, put them out. And we have 5 in the red barn currently. 2 are bottle babies, 3 are not. And
They were bottle babies.
yeah, they were bottle babies. I can't get them on the pasture because they keep jumping through the fence. We have electric across the bottom. We turn it on, but they will hop between the boards. So you can't leave them there and run away before they're back with you. So until they get big enough where they won't squeeze between the fence, they're staying in the barn. So it's kind of crazy. We milk in that barn. We got some chickens in that barn. It's kind of nasty. But if you like deep bedding, it's a good thing. That's for sure. All that bedding's going to go in the pastures. It's going to work out really well. We were in Richmond today. The kids and I, Emily was here on the farm, and Richmond is fully leafed out. So it looks like a normal spring. Here, we got some leaves. They're not big leaves. The buds are coming out. It's
They're
pretty
babies.
nice. So it's looking pretty good. You know, Gabriel, it is a shame, but you know, sometimes things happen and they're just out of your control. Things that are within our control, that's what makes me really sad. I can say that. She got milk fever, and as a result, that will take them pretty quickly. As we think about the last 3 or 4 days of her life, we realized that when she came out of the pasture, she wasn't quite right.
She was lethargic.
I should have noticed it then, but then every now and again, they're a little tired. So it happens. I don't like learning that way. Hopefully we won't have that same experience here in the future. Later, let's see, tomorrow is my last day on the farm for the week. We're going to be planting some potatoes in the garden and starting the garden fence project. We're going to be putting up, I think, an 8 or a 10-foot fence around the garden and then redoing our beds. And we may quite possibly be getting rid of the greenhouse to put something else in its place, something smaller that may not blow over. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
But pretty much everything here blows over, that's for sure. You're leafed. Well, here, Gabriel, not all of our maples are leafed, and that is the first thing that's coming out. The hickories are starting to leaf out a little bit too. And I say leaf out, we're talking leaves about yay big. So nothing big at this point. Definitely not like Richmond.
That big.
Courtney, she's right there. Let's see.
We are at higher elevation.
We are. We're about 3,500, and the top of the mountain is about 39 to 4,000. So we're up a little bit, that's for sure. So Eric and Darcy, are you guys going fishing anytime soon?
Yeah, when are you coming up to visit?
Did you come up and do any spring turkey hunting? Because I had been seeing turkeys out the wazoo in the woods. We were sitting on one ridge, and I could have counted 20 of them running across the other ridge on the other side of us. It was kind of crazy. What else is this week? So tomorrow on the farm is potatoes, clean the cottage. We have a guest coming on Friday. They'll be here through Sunday, which is when I return Sunday evening. We have more guests showing up Sunday afternoon. Some of our old friends. Can you please turn the fan off?
Oh.
And
Old friends.
Zakira's
coming, one of our old friends who started with us on staying in our B&B. As she's been coming for many years.
I don't remember her.
Is turkey hunting up here in May? I thought that was already done. I'm not so sure about that. Are you doing turkey hunting down your way, Eric? Or are you coming up this way? We'd love to see you. That's for sure. What else? So tomorrow we got to get the truck ready, unloaded with some junk, loaded with some more junk so that we can make our way up to Cortland on Thursday. We'll be in Cortland, which is, I think it's near Cleveland. I could be wrong. It's about 5.5 hours north of us. And hopefully we'll be doing some firewood stuff and some other stuff that are in the hotel. So let's see. What else? So the girls have a girls' weekend. The guys are doing a guys' weekend. Yeah, Nanny's coming.
Yes.
And then starting next week, we're probably getting into 2 or 3 big projects that we're completing. One is the skid steer with that big leak. I know we've not done a video on it yet. Hopefully I'll get one out pretty soon and show you the leak that we had. And hopefully I've solved that problem. Not sure. We are having a little bit of a problem with our lift, and that's a bit of a challenge. So we need to get that fixed. May have to put a pump on it. That'll be interesting. So I'm working with the manufacturer of that, trying to get all the diagnostics and the processes down so we can get that diagnosed and the parts ordered. Okay, cool. Well, we hope that you guys can stop in and say hello. And if you come up, Eric and Darcy, Deer and May, maybe you can sit in on another live stream. Wouldn't that be fun? We would really enjoy having you here. As that goes for anybody who's on the channel. We'd love to have you come out and visit. We do ask that you give us a call first, because you never know where we're going to be. That's for sure. Most likely we're on the farm, but it's not always like that. Because every now and again, like today, I was off the farm most all the day. So in a car, I didn't stop for more than like 30 minutes at any one place. But I drove from 2:30 until
now
7:29 when I got here and started this live stream. Hi, Miss Henderson. How are you doing? A Beaver Eater firewood processor. I've never heard of that. There's a couple that are kind of neat. I've seen one that uses like a ram and shoves it through what looks to be a grate, and then the wood just comes out perfect. I don't know what that one's called. I hope I can see one of those. Bless you. Stop staring me. So I hope to see one of those this weekend, but some of the old ones you may not see. I know Easton's going to be there. Yappa's going to be there. Hinky Pikel. I'm not sure. It's one out of Finland. It's another one out of Finland. There's going to be a couple. I think Wolf Ridge might be there and a few others. It's going to be kind of neat. So I'm looking forward to it. What's going on in Hidden Home Springs? You said something about a video you're getting ready to put out. You talking about the video for the box scraper that you grabbed off the farm? Hope it did well for you. We are at 13 minutes. There's 11 people on here. There are 8 thumbs up. I hope everybody has had a chance to give us a comment. We love to hear where you're watching from. I know Eric and Darcy's in Florida. Miss Henderson, I've sent you syrup, but I am having a senior moment. I know Gabriel is in New Jersey, Hidden Springs Homestead, McDowell, or Monterey, depends how you look at it, but they're not far from us. Who else we got in the house? Fix the Rust Bucket in North Carolina. So, yes. The wind at our house is a bit on the crazy side. When it blew our shed uphill over, that's when I realized we are living in a twilight zone. It's absolutely crazy. James Cobb. That's funny. There's a neighbor called James Cobb. He lives down the street from us. Colonel Cobb is what he was. He was a Marine Corps colonel. We both served about the same time, but he's a lot older than I am. So I was probably under his command at some point. That's for sure. Nowadays we're neighbors, and I get to help him with his cattle and his hay. It's a lot of fun. He's a good guy. Oh, I like the idea of an 8-way wedge. That would be pretty cool. James, welcome to the channel. I don't know if I've seen you in the comments before. Certainly welcome to the live stream. We're glad to have you here. We hope you're enjoying some of the videos that we put out. I know I put out a vast array of videos, from repairing stuff to just about anything on the farm. I was trying to explain to somebody today at Goodwill all the different kinds of videos that we share. And I really probably should say that the most videos that we share are the ones where I fix the washing machine. Because I think, did I do that last week?
Yeah.
I had to fix the washing machine again.
Right before we left before Easter.
So that washing machine is going to be the bane of me. I think I've put 15, at least 10 pumps in this thing.
Yeah, minimally.
Yeah. Now we do a lot of laundry. We probably do 3 to 5 loads a day. And with the B&B, it gets a little crazy. So where is everything good?
Yeah, I wanted to see if it was started to rain yet. I got sheets on the line.
Oh, okay. So we still got a lot going on. And you know what I'm looking forward to?
Sleep. I'm surprised you're talking.
Yeah, me too. I am tired. Did you do the
I'm
ducks?
the chatter.
I did.
The ducks are done?
Yeah.
Did you do the animals down there?
Yeah.
I'm going to bed. See you guys. Bye.
I didn't get the eggs out of the eggmobile.
Oh, you can't. The geese will not give you an egg.
I'm not talking about that. Not
Oh, you mean the layers?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
those 2 geese were hissing.
Yeah, they will chase you off. And
But they're
that's,
not sitting on all of them.
I know. So that's the challenge. We have our geese that are, 2 of them are very broody. The third one's kind of broody too, but she doesn't always hang out. But there are other 2 there that are super broody. And if you go near the eggs,
They hiss
and come after you. So tomorrow, what I'm going to do is put another chicken tractor down there for the geese and the ducks by themselves, or I might even do a geese, a duck one, and then these 2 geese that are all crazy by themselves, so they have their water and they can have their space.
Yeah.
So that's something I do need to get done pretty quickly.
It would be nice if they would hatch out the room.
You say geese are good watchdogs. I don't know so much about that.
Not ours.
They are very loud all the time, so it's hard to discern when something's going on. Now, if you hear them in the middle of the night going off, then there's something down there, that's for sure.
Especially if the dogs are going off too.
Yeah, so that's when we come out and we have a little bit of fun.
Oh, can we update on the fact that our dogs have stayed?
All right, so we have stupid dog.
Can I do it?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay,
Tell about this thing.
Can you back up? Elmer, New Jersey. So our dogs have been running away, right? So stupid dog and dumb dog. What? I can't believe you had me call him that.
It's not dumb dog, it's stupid dog.
And what's the big one?
He's an idiot. That's Odin. I haven't got a name for him.
Doofus.
Yeah, doofus.
Doofus. But anyway, they were always taking off and running away and this, that, and the other thing. So we
That's a shiwi.
That's a shiwi. Did some research on different
Collars.
dog collars.
Satellite dog collars.
Like GPS. Yeah, dog collars.
We tried the Garmin Astro 320 out. They did not have the ability to shock the dog. They had the ability that we know of to alert the dog and track the dog, but it didn't really give us that ability while we were inside the house where that unit would work. I don't think it would connect to Wi-Fi. So that being said,
this one,
when the dogs took off, they were gone and we didn't know about it.
Yeah, we didn't know about it, and it didn't. It was more for like one of those hunting dogs, right? Where the hunters just wanted to know where their dogs were located. I needed to sequester my dogs. Baroness, before we got Odin, would take off maybe once every 6 months. She'd go down, hang out with the neighbors, and then she'd come home, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Once Odin came, if the 2 of them were out together, they were gone, and not like just right across the street and back. It was like miles down the road and back. And they didn't come back on their own.
Painful.
My neighbors or people would bring them back to me.
The police brought them back twice.
Once before,
No,
yep.
It's been a couple of times.
Okay. Well,
And the neighbors have brought them back. And I've just told the neighbors from now on, just keep them. So we're kind of done
So
with it.
anyway, we tried, I was looking, oops, sorry. I was looking between the halo collars and then the spot on collars. With the halo collars, they're both relatively the same, where it's like geofencing. And I liked the reviews better with the spot on collars. They were a little more expensive.
No subscription.
But there was, unless you wanted to be able to track the dog, there was a subscription with the tracking. But if I just wanted the geofencing, there's no subscriptions for that, which was nice. The other ones, in order to use their software or whatever, you had to have a yearly subscription. So we've had these for probably 6 weeks now. And you're supposed to train them. Like, it'll give 2 different alerts for like when they start to come up to the proximity. Like, one was like a beeping, and then it was a tone, and then it's supposed to be a vibration and a shock. Well, I don't know if you've seen my dogs, but they're like uber furry here. So I'm like, babe, they're not shocking. They're not getting shocked. They're not getting shocked.
You're wearing my jacket.
No, this is my mama's jacket. It's my mother's jacket.
It looks a lot like my coat.
We have a problem.
I think he jumped back into the house.
Okay, I'm a little aggravated by that stupid dog. That was
that was doofus. So the other day, I don't know how I did it, but I got Odin for it to shock Odin. So I got it on him, and what?
It's my jacket.
It's not your jacket. It may be your jacket. There's no holes. I told you it's my mother's jacket.
Fine. That's your mom's jacket.
My mom's jacket.
It looks just like
you
mine.
stole my Carhartt jacket.
Yeah,
so
okay,
don't come at me with that. Anyway,
suffice to say,
it lit him up.
Yeah.
He jumped solid 3 feet off the ground. Of course, I had the shock like all the way up because it wasn't doing anything. So I had it at like 3 foot off the ground. Well, I
missed that. Oh, that would have been fun to watch.
I did it in several areas, and he hasn't crossed it since. If he does, he comes right back. And now if he hears the tone, he hightails it back to the house. So needless to say, he has been outside all day today and hasn't left the perimeter. Now the perimeter is like around the house, because as you're training, I don't want to walk like 5 acres. So, but now that he's trained to the tones and stuff, I'm thinking about either extending it or just putting him down in the sheep field. But I have to shave their necks, because not every time I put it on them does it get good connection. So it won't shock them every time. But they definitely need the little zappy zap in order for them to respect it. But that was a win, because that was hateful for the past year.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty much over it.
Yeah.
So I'm done with that. Yes. Don't like that dog.
What was I gonna say?
You're going to chill for a moment.
Collars have longer
They do.
Okay, so I put the longer prongs on them, and it still did not make connections. But they got manes of hair here.
They're kind of big.
Well,
They're
it makes
not
sense if they're in a fight with a coyote or something, that extra fluff kind of protects their.
Gosh, there was something else we're going to share besides the dogs. I don't know.
You have a new video coming out?
No, I don't have a new video. I don't know what I'm going to do for Friday's video.
What about my video?
I don't know, buddy. We haven't worked on that yet. I've been a little busy. We did a 2,400 bottle order in less than a week. That was 2,400 bottles that had to be bottled
and labeled.
We got some incorrect caps. It's been a little challenging. We just delivered them today, and I still have another order, a couple more orders to fill. So it's been a little crazy. My video work has been down. So at any rate, it's busy.
Any grace that you guys could provide is delightful.
I want to get their opinion on something, but I can't remember what it was. It's because I'm tired. I'm sorry. I was kind of zoning out. Let me address just something real quick. I'm thinking about doing a video about homesteading, not because we're good homesteaders, because that's not the case, but to really share what homesteading is like. We have been on this farm now for about eight years. We've been making syrup for 7 of those years. And is it 7? We're getting ready to go into our 8th year. We've been making syrup for a while. And we've been pretty, not self-sufficient, but we do all of our own meat. And we do a lot of our garden stuff. And we're getting into herbs that we have on the farm. So there's things here that make it sustainable. But one thing I'm learning, especially if you've come from the city like we did, and now I've got a little bit of mechanical and agricultural background, but not a lot. It's a lot of work, and it's a tremendous amount of work that just doesn't stop. I like it. It's fun, but coming off maple season, going into garden season, getting ready for hay season, all the equipment's got to be ready. We don't really get a break until about July. And then we have a couple of weeks to kind of get things. We're in the garden all straight.
By July, we're already starting to harvest.
Yeah.
In the garden, and that's usually when I amp up in getting my product ready for the fall festivals.
So it's really busy. Homesteading in general is just busy. Just take out festivals
and homeschooling.
And take out homeschooling, take out maple. Just trying to be self-sufficient on the land is a challenge. And if you ever thought about this, the first thing I'd want you to think about is fencing.
And water.
And second thing is water. You get those two right first before you ever bring an animal on your property, and your life will be a lot easier. Don't get those right, and you're going to live like we've done for the last 7 years. It's a nightmare. Okay. Some days are a little challenging than others, and a lot of days are rewarding, like playing with the land. That's a lot of fun. But bottle babies is not.
If you have not, okay, bottle babies are fine, except during maple season. But if you are the type of person,
look at that. It looks like your breast.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
You can't edit that out.
That was weird. What is she doing?
My daughter gave her to me. This is my first grandchild.
I was going to put that thing back in. All right. It's a family channel. Why did you go there?
You did.
Put the baby up. Put the baby up.
Anyway, I completely lost my train of thought. No, if you're the type of person, or if your husband is the type of person where water and fencing may be on your list of things to do, but their list of things and your list of things don't always match up. And the only way for that water and fencing to get done is if you already have the animals on the farm that need it.
Bad idea. I'm going to tell you right now, bad idea. Hidden Springs Homestead has a creek that runs through his property. If I had that creek, I would have hydroelectricity, no doubt about it, and I might have more water. More animals, because water is the key. We end up in the summer months, last 2 to 3 years, our spring has dried up for our cottage, which has been a challenge. That is for sure. And then we move water from one side of the farm to the other, and we do it every day, twice a day. And so that can be a bit daunting. This year we did buy a big 2,500 gallon tank that we're going to put in place here very soon. Yet another project, but we'll put it in place so that we have water for our cattle all the way through the end of the summer. Or at least, let's say our spring runs out, we've got about 2 weeks worth of water where we can catch some more and do some other catchment things that'll help us get through the season. The biggest challenge, of course, is losing the spring for the B&B, because that is an income source for us.
Yes.
And when that happens, we have a plan for mitigation, and it does work, but it's still sketchy.
Yeah.
Western Panhandle of Nebraska.
Talk about difficulties. It's like a desert here.
That's terrible. Nebraska's cold. My cousins live out there. In fact, I haven't seen them since I was a kid.
Yeah. We did the cart before the horse. We got alpacas. That was,
Yeah.
Our farm was set up for horses. So when you bring small livestock into it, and then the males and the females couldn't be together, so you had to split the pasture, and
it can get a little dicey.
It got, yeah.
Well, it's that way right now because we have heifers on the farm.
There are 3 different paddocks.
We got 2 bulls on the farm. We got a milk cow. We got we got a heifer we're trying to breed.
She better take 2.
And then we've got
She's
2 extra steers
so
in addition to our cows who are pregnant. So I wish I had a little bit better fencing, but it's working and we'll get through it. And right now we're in transition as far as hay, not really hay, we're out of hay, but as the grass is growing, it's not growing very fast here because again, the leaves aren't budded out or the trees aren't completely budded out. Therefore, we don't have leaves. That being said, we don't have grass. So it can be a little bit of a challenge.
The grass around our farm or around the house is growing, but I don't necessarily want the cows grazing in my front yard because, they fertilize it. He does.
Yeah.
The other day they were in my side yard, but then my kids are outside running through it.
Yeah, well, little poop won't hurt them. A lot of poop won't hurt them either. They just don't track it in the house.
Grilled cheese sandwiches are done.
Huh? Serious? So you're not sharing? Thanks there, Chris. You're awesome. Well, good to see you, Chris. Hope you're having a great day. We're 9 people here. 9 thumbs up. It means the world to us.
Thank you.
What else is going to go on? Like next week, big projects again, our skid steer.
Garden.
Well, the garden's on there, but we have got to get the parts ordered for the lift because if we have a windstorm, I can't get on the roof.
Oh.
And so there's a challenge because we have a lot of wind here. So the lift is down. I got to figure that out. And I think I got that skid steer fixed, but I'm not 100% yet because I've not really been able to touch it for at least a week. That's been a bit of a challenge. We got to do the garden. We've got a fence project going down to the front so we can increase our pasture. We're going to be spreading some organic chicken manure on the hay meadows here pretty soon when the spreader is available, or we're going to use our own spreader, which is a piece of junk, but it could work. We do have to get the deep bedding out of the barn so we can get it spread out as well and move some chickens. So
there's so much.
The next couple of weeks is going to be busy as normal. So if anybody wants to come over like you, Andrew and Courtney, we'd love to have you come over and do some stuff.
Yeah, I'm a solid month behind in my garden. My tomatoes should have been planted already.
Let's see. I'm going to make sure we're going to end here in just a minute because she's got all the animals done. And I'm going to run upstairs and fall asleep.
He's already asleep. Don't let him fool you.
I'm zoning. I'm definitely zoning. Well, do you guys have any last questions? Anything that we can share that's going on? Oh, yeah, check this out. That's that stupid pump. Check it out. It spins like this. See? It's not supposed to spin like that. And you can see it broken right there. So, I don't even know how many I bought. It's funny. You put the list up on Amazon, sort by your order. A full page or more of those pumps.
Yeah. The chicken manure has already been sitting for a year?
It's been almost a year.
So yeah, who told us to let it sit? Was it Casey who told us to let it sit?
Rodney did. So it's got to go through a couple of heat cycles, which it had before it came to the farm. And so now it went through the rest of the summer. It's probably lost some of its nitrogen, but it's still there. And so we'll put it on
in the hay field anyway.
It's going on the meadows, and hopefully that's going to help us with our hay. We ran out of hay this year at 75 bales, and I got to say that was a lot. And we have increased our herd size by 3 for the summer. And then when we have our next 3 to 4 babies, 3 will go off, 2 will go off the farm, maybe 3. And 4 will come on the farm for the winter. So we're going to need about 100 bales for the year. That's round bales, not square bales. We do some square. They're very nice. I hate that machine, but they are pretty good. That's for sure.
Yeah. What's nice though is Neko's mom and dad last winter ended up bringing us. What did they bring us? It was like it was like a
20.
bundle of square bales.
It was a bundles of square bales, and they
and
brought
that was
them
delightful.
Out. They did. They brought them because we take care of Neko.
Yeah.
And we use those hay bales on sheep that are in the barn.
During
and then
lambing.
We do the round bales for Neko. So it was a true blessing. That is for sure. Working with a square bale is fun. I personally don't like square baling because I don't like what the machine does. Even my big tractor, the plunger on the baler, it just hits so hard that my whole tractor is shaking the whole time. And now, mind you, I'm on the side of a mountain and it gets a little crazy. So the less shaking I can do, the better off I am.
Our topography is a little rough. So with our hay fields, we have not, what is it called, augmented our hay field since we've been here?
No, we haven't.
Was that the correct term?
No.
Amend?
We haven't done any inputs to our hay field since we've been here. So we've taken hay off of them for about 7 years.
Yeah. So the past
they're kind of
2
anemic.
years have been where the hay, you could tell the hay quality wasn't great.
Well, we've also been in a drought. So Andrew just mentioned that we're already in a drought now, which he's right. We've had a pretty good drought the last 2 years. So hay over here, especially last year, was very difficult for the upper elevations. The lower elevations along the river could get 2 cuttings, potentially a third.
We were lucky if we got 1.
We got 1, and then we got a partial second.
Did we? I don't think we hayed this one right here.
we didn't.
We ended up.
We let the cows out in front.
We let the cows out, and we rotationally grazed them in our hay pasture that's right in front of our house. Because there just wasn't enough. She took a nap.
Yeah, she's sleeping. Shh, better be quiet.
But yeah. So we're gonna be putting down the chicken manure to help with the.
So Eric, we don't run an aerator about. I don't know. I used to have one that went behind a tractor that you could pull like a 3-point hitch. I don't have one anymore. Around here, you will knock off the teeth of an aerator in a minute because all the rocks that are in the ground.
Rocks.
So we're lucky to have a pasture. Let me say that. Our hay meadows are very nice. However, they are rocky.
And every year we're digging up rocks.
Yeah, there's probably a dozen out there I got to go pull now so I protect my hay equipment. I wish we had like bottom ground, but we don't. We're on the side of a mountain. And that's another thing when we think about homesteading is right sizing your property for not having to bring inputs in to feed them. Meaning we want the right size herds, both from a sheep perspective and a cattle perspective, whereby we can make our own hay on this farm and get us through the winter. If we have to bring inputs off the farm here to do it, then that's telling me that we don't have enough forage here for what we have and we need to scale back. We're just about where we want to be for the animal count that we have. The way that we can adjust that animal count is either less cows, more sheep, less cows. So it's going to work one way or the other. You can't have a plethora of both because it simply will not work.
Yeah.
For our model. And that doesn't mean you can't bring inputs in or you can't have a farm that does only bring inputs in. If you look at Stony Ridge Farmer, he doesn't make any hay.
It would be nice
he
to
makes
be
zero hay.
as self-sufficient as humanly possible.
I would rather us make our own hay, overwinter our animals. We know our animals. We're not bringing anything into the farm like the steers and taking them off in the fall. Now, that's an interesting way to do it, but that's not what we're doing currently. We're doing a cow-calf operation for Gabriel. When he gets a little bit older, he's got the base cows. Yeah. And a cow will produce a calf for you for 17, 18 years.
Yeah. For us, because we do the raw milk, I don't want to be bringing animals on and off the farm because I don't know what kind of diseases they could be potentially bringing in that will infect my dairy cow. So then we can't drink the milk.
And
Does that make sense?
That's another reason why Neko, when he came onto the farm,
there was no leaving.
We didn't want him to leave. Now they were thinking they were going to take him back and put him with the herd and then bring him back to us in the fall. And we said, please just keep him here on the farm because we know him. He knows us. He's good with the herd. And we know that he's not sick. So he wouldn't go get something, then come back.
Yeah.
And that was a big fear. And so Neko's been with us 3 years.
Ish.
Yeah. He started off kind of short.
He's hefty now.
He's a big boy now. And he's as sweet as can be. He really is.
He is very sweet. I also think for our hay inputs, we can do a better job at what we've got back here between the house and the whatever. If we could get that to where it could be
more productive,
a better quality grass or forage for them, then we could rotationally graze them on the back and have more forage to support more animals.
So here's a question for everybody. We can take pastures out of organic status, treat that conventionally, and they can't come back in for 3 years. Would you do it? There's a question for you for the comments. Meaning we could take the front pasture where we currently are organically producing hay, and we can spray Grazon or D4-2,4-D on it, or Remedy. Those are super powerful. They stay into the grass and they get into your food supply. That I know for sure. Or an opportunity, what we've been doing, it's taken me 3 to 4 years to do this so far. We have mowed a section of our lower pasture for 3 years, making hay off of it. And right now, it looks like our hay meadow. It looks really good. We've gotten all of the broom sage out. All of the thorn stickers, all that stuff is all gone. It is a nice hay meadow. The rest of the area is what we're planning on doing the same thing with, but it takes time. So to get in there, you're looking, it's like this, and it's twisted all sorts of ways, and there's a couple big holes that will gobble my tractor up. So we have a plan in place to do that both on the top and down below, in hopes that we can bring that back faster. But I'd still love to hear your opinions in the comments, if you would. Maybe not now, but maybe later, where you tell me, would you remove your farm out of an organic status to treat it, only to bring it back into organic status within 3 years?
But didn't you say that it will get into whatever livestock you put on it?
It will.
It will go into that food.
It will. And here's the other thing with Remedy and Grazon, you don't put the manure on your garden. You can keep the manure on your pastures, but you don't put it in your garden because Grazon,
it's in there.
It's still in the manure. Yeah, so that I don't like those products personally.
I don't like that. I think we should amend the fields with whatever they're lacking.
We can do things like agricultural lime. We're supposed to use a liquid lime, although we'd have to come out of organic status to use a liquid lime. And then the fertilizer input would be more of a biological microorganism style fertilizer that's feeding the soil. And I hate to say the word biome, but that may be the right term, where we're feeding it with microorganisms, not pesticides or herbicides or fertilizers that are generated from synthetic sources, because we can't do that and stay in organics. So, let me know what you think about that. It is now 42 minutes, 10 people in, 10 thumbs up. That means the world to us. It really does. We're going to cut out of here in about 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes. So if there's any questions that you have of what's going on with us or what's going on the farm, do let us know. We'll answer that real quick before we say adieu. I don't see any questions. Gabriel, I agree with you there. And one of the things that we do for our driveway is I have a land plane. And what that does is it scoops up the first inch, turns it, and then does it again. And the blade's on an angle, so it lays it all down nice and neat, cuts out any potholes, and it works like a champ. That's interesting. I've used my tiller on the driveway and a flamer. So Gabriel tomorrow is going to be flaming. Gabriel's going to be flaming down at the cottage, all around the cottage, so there won't be any weeds. We can't use Roundup. So somebody said something.
How is the sugar inventory? Low. It's getting low. Can you straighten the wheels in a finished mower? Land planes are fantastic. He loves his tools.
Eric and Darcy, we have sugar. I've got 5 or 10 pounds in the freezer in the barn, so if you need some, do let me know. We haven't got on the website, although I got one right here. I got an order for some of that sugar that I've got to get together and send off. So I will tell you right now, Hidden Springs Homestead, that you are going to chase your tail on a wheel on a mower, a finished mower. Depending if it's one of your front wheels, maybe we can do the repair. But if it's a caster, meaning it casters and back to straight and it kind of wobbles and goes straight, you may have multiple angles that are in it, and they are absolutely hateful. I have straightened them. They're never perfect. I can get them to where they can work, but it's a challenge, let me tell you. My walker is my high-end mower.
I'm totally going to tell. $20.
What?
He said, he said an accident today somehow. Don't tell Courtney. $20.
So we're making money on this live stream. So on my walker, I've had the one of the wheels, and it has been a bit of a challenge. I've had to have a replace it. I need to do it because it's off just a hair. It just drives me crazy.
Oh my goodness.
So, all right. Land planes are awesome. We're looking at some point in the future getting a Harley rake, and that's really what the driveway needs to bring it all back in and make it good again, because we do put about 20, 25 tons on a year.
What is that thing? What was it? A Steiner?
Yeah, we had a Steiner with a brush.
With
that
a
was
brush?
pretty cool.
Oh man,
That thing was quite cool.
Now that looking back, we shouldn't have gotten rid of that.
Well, now that we have the ability, we have a skid steer, we can get a brush for the skid steer and it could work. That would be kind of neat.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, you might want to do that, Andrew.
No.
You might have to pay up. I think that's a good idea. All right, so it has been 45 minutes. I can't believe I'm still up and moving. We are truly grateful to have each and every one of you come to the channel, watch our videos, and comment. It means the world to us. I hope that one day we can all get together and say hello. We've got a festival coming up in October. We don't have availability in the B&B, but we do have probably availability around town. That's Hands on Harvest. So if you want to come out to the farm and hang out with us, that'll be a good weekend. We'll be on the farm. If anybody wants to come over and work, that'd be cool too. Andrew, wink, wink. I won't tell your wife about the wheels or the accident.
I will. I'm going to get her to text her.
Well, not if he comes over and helps us. We'll see how that goes.
That doesn't help me.
Well, us. That's us, we. Okay.
That's not a we. That's a you we.
That's right. That's me, we. So if you ever do want to come out to the farm, we do suggest that middle of September is probably a good time. Leaves here have already changed. It is beautiful. It's cool. It's amazing. We love to have you on the farm.
Why are you tired?
All right. Rock and rattle. Good night. Hey, thank you for hanging out. Mark, it's nice to see you here. We will see everybody real soon. You got more chickens. Everybody's got to say goodbye while I end this live stream.
Hold on, let me get Evelyn. Bye-bye.
Okay, hold on. You guys say bye-bye? Can the chicken do thumbs up?
He's got feathers on his feet.
Yeah, he does got feathers on his feet. That's a weird.
Oh,
okay. So thanks a lot for watching our videos. Do consider giving us a thumbs up. And until next time.
God bless you.
That's right. God bless everybody. Have a wonderful day.
She tapes on me. I'm going to be so mad.